Hello everybody, welcome back to Zelda Bros. Today Skywalker can't join us because driver's ed is messing with his schedule. Anyways, today we shall be cooking my top 5 recipes in Breath of the Wild. So let's get into it. Our first recipe of the day is crepes. Crepes are like pancakes, but thinner and better tasting. First, we'll need some fresh milk, bird eggs, to bantha wheat, and cane sugar. We add this to the cooking pot, wait for Link to cook it, and we have our crepes. You can also add some variety to this by adding fruits such as wild berries, which gives you a big health boost, and it also just looks good. On to the next recipe. The second recipe is a cake. To bake a cake, we need 3 simple ingredients: wheat, sugar, and butter. Throw it into the cooking pot. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. What did I get wrong in this recipe? Hold please as I find out what I got wrong. Oh, I see. So you can't just cook plain cakes. What you need is an ingredient alongside your cake. So you can do something like a carrot or a nut. I don't have that. So I'll just go to Kakariko Village and buy some carrots. Do not mind the absurd amount of spirit orbs that I have with full health and stamina. I obtained those very legally and without glitches. And those rupees, Bitcoin. I invest in Zelda coin. It gives me a bunch of rupees. Very investful. Where is the shop? There's the shop. Hell then, that didn't go as planned. Didn't line it up right. This store has a carrot on its sign. Get in the door. Okay, Grandma, let me buy you some carrots, Grandma. I will take every single carrot you have, even at great expense. Alright. Now we can just go outside, because there's a cooking pot. Lights itself. It's magic. Wheat, sugar, butter, and carrot. This gives us a hasty carrot cake, which gives you a speed boost, not that many hearts, but it looks good. And if you want to bake a cake, just make sure you know what kind of cake you want to make, because plain cakes just aren't possible. Anyways, the third recipe is some curry rice. This is for a side quest, however I think it's a nice dish to cook now and again. Let's get started. So we only need 2 ingredients, and those are Hylian rice and Goron spice. This recipe is great for if you have a daily outfit like mine, and if you need to add some spice to a food, you can just make this dish and add some spicy peppers to it, and you can have 2 cold resistance while only wearing 1 piece of cold resistant clothing. On to the 4th dish. 4th recipe we'll be making is a risotto. This dish can be heavily varied with pumpkins, carrots, mushrooms, or seafood. Today I'll be cooking a seafood risotto. What you'll need is Hylian rice, goat butter, rock salt, and any seafood. I will be Making one with staminoka bass for stamina recovery. Then you throw it in the pot. Wait for it to cook. Did I do that right? Okay, so I think there's only some kinds of seafood it works with, which is, I think, crab. I'm going to cook it with a bright-eyed crab. This replenishes your stamina. Here we go, energizing crab risotto. Doesn't give much health. The amount of stamina you get is heavily varied, but you have a risotto. Very nice dish. For the final dish, we'll be cooking my favorite, the seafood paella. This dish is part of a side quest in Lurlin Village, but it's a very fancy dish that gives lots of healths and bonuses depending on what kind of porgy you put into it. To get started, we need a blue shell snail, very hard to come by, any kind of porgy, using a mighty porgy. Then you need Hylian rice, goat butter, and rock salt. Add this to your cooking pot, and you have a seafood paella, which gives you 15 recovery hearts. I don't think you can actually get it to give you bonuses because you have to make it with stuff that cancels out. But anyways, that concludes this week's episode of Zelda Bros. This is Bingus Pingus, signing off.